switch, which you may have noticed here. If for some reason you don't want the heater to be able to
messed with that at
fire, well, if you're worried, you smell gas down here, something like that, don't want the heater to be able to fire, even if it's turned on in there, if you turn that switch to the off position, that kills the power to the heater. So even if you try to activate it in there, it's not going to go past that switch. So it can't come on until somebody can get out here. So if you just turn that off, you're good to go. Other than that, leave it in the on position. If you were to look in here, it should be reading remote when it's running. It won't show up now because the filter's not running. The heater will not work unless the filter's running. So anytime you want to turn the heater on, make sure your filter's on. But you'll have a readout on here that should say remote, and it may say no call for heat or no demand or something like that on there, and it'll be flashing temperatures. Should always read remote on there, and it should be flashing temperatures. For some reason the heater's not working, you can come down. If you look at this panel, it may give you a default readout. So if you're going to call us to come out and check it out and say, hey look, my heater's not working, I went out, and the panel's saying this default, it can give us, I mean you don't have to, but it can give us an idea of what it is. Might be something that we might be able to diagnose for you over the phone, especially if you're having a party or something, and be able to get you straightened out. Or we know what is bad, and we normally stock all the parts for these heaters. So if something goes bad, we normally have it, but it also tells us what we need to bring to be sure we can get this thing fixed for you if it breaks down. So may need to look for default readings, or if it was not reading remote on there, then you want to let us know too, because then it means that the heater is no longer in control by the Aqualink. It's actually in control by here, which that we don't want. So it should always be reading remote. Now the only thing that would usually knock that out of there is if somebody pushed the button pattern on there to take it out of remote, or if we had an electrical storm and a power surge went through, it could reset this board and take it out of remote mode. So normally it should not come out of remote mode. Other than that, you don't really need to look at that or even think about it. It does have temp control on it, but we have it all set to where you can do whatever you want to be able to do in there. If the temperature settings get changed on this out here, then it won't allow you to do what you want to do in there. So it's pretty much set up the way it needs to be right now. Safety shut-off valve for the gas, that would be off. So another point, if you smelled gas or were worried that there was something wrong and didn't want the heater to fire, you could turn the switch off and turn this valve so it's intersecting the pipe, and that will not allow gas into the heater. Just in case. Other than that, you always want it in that position.